So Prosper was born in Gambaga to two civil servants, and later on, my father got transferred from Gambaga somewhere around age 2 to Tamale, and I spent most of my life in Tamale, where I had my basic education through to my junior high school, and subsequently to St. Hubert in Kumasi, where I continued with my senior high school formation. The initial plan was for me to become a Catholic priest. But somewhere along the line, I didn't feel the call so much, and so I went to University of Development Studies, where I studied Integrated Community Development in 2008, and subsequently graduated in 2012 and did my national service with the Rural Development College, where I was a teaching assistant for sociology, population studies, water and sanitation, and community development. After national service, obviously, I was blessed to have gained full-time employment as a lecturer at the college here. So in 2014, I proceeded to do my second degree, and it was in planning, development planning and management. I graduated subsequently in 2017, and now a principal community development officer. I am married with one kid, and I hope to give it more. Yes, so that's really. I don't call them mistakes. I call them experiences that only shape me into a better person, and to because of this tag I've given to them, I don't usually see them as really mistakes. And so to categorically state that this is what I did that I regret about, my personality has come to a point where I feel I I don't tag events that do not even augur well for me as mistakes. But there are few I feel I should have given much energy to. For instance, growing up, I've always thought of becoming a military officer. And having grown in an environment where the belief was in academia, I at a point thought it was academics all this while. So I sometimes feel I should have given more energy to the pursuit of becoming a military officer, where I believe I would have worked with my all. But all the same, I don't call it a mistake. I think it's just right that it happened. My greatest fears is fear. I always say that I believe in facing the fear factor. And so when I begin to think that I'm afraid of doing something, then that becomes a fear to me. So my greatest fear is fear. I don't know how to put it. I try every now and then to do away with the concept of being being sort of regulated or sort of restricted by the concept of fear. Not because you naturally don't want to do it or you can't do it, but you're just afraid of the consequences. That's my greatest fear. I don't want to be afraid at all. Okay. First of all, let me say that with my line of thoughts as a Christian. I don't believe COVID has any spiritual implications. I'm emphasizing on my line because I believe COVID ever, if a Christian dies with COVID, I don't see the difference. Just like a Christian dying. One thing I believe in is dying without Christ. That becomes the fear. But like if your question is anything to go by, if it's a Christian and the flow has Christ in, there's obviously nothing wrong with one dying with COVID whilst being in Christ, which is most important. Applies to us because I'm not equally too old to be called a youth. Is that we must live on, shall I call them, three certain principles in life. And the first principle is that you must respect and regard nature and what nature has instituted for us. Nature has made it said that you are birthed to a woman and a man who are your parents. And anybody who can stand that same category must be regarded as such. So for the youth, I think the respect for what nature has blessed us with is paramount. So if you are in a society where you have leaders, where you have people above you, people younger than you, once they are surrounding you by the dictates of nature, you must respect them. The second thing I believe in, I'll advise us to do as youth is to have this concept of confidence in whatever our instincts tell us. Because we live in a society where people begin to succumb to the ideals of society without necessarily looking at what they believe in as individuals. And sometimes when you want to satisfy the needs of society, you begin to have challenges in life. So have a certain principle and stand by that principle. And regardless of what, just say it. And the last one is the fact that we must take our spiritual life rather serious. I've always said this time and time again that I would be happy if the world comes to a point where everybody is Christian. But I also believe that whatever spiritual line you toe, you must do it 100%. So you're not a Christian and a Muslim at the same time. You're not a Muslim and a Christian at the same time. You're not a traditionalist and a Christian at the same time. You must not give room to anything apart from what you believe in, and that is I think the crux of religion. That you must confess one thing, and under no circumstance veer off from that thing. And once we do that with our spiritual lives, I think with these three principles we'll be having a beautiful and more accommodating world around us. That's my advice to you. Thank you.